All right, what shall we look at?
Let me pull up the assignment. It's a pretty big assignment this week.
Yes, you probably don't have it on your phone, correct?
No, but I have my computer working on the side here.
Okay, I can't see your computer, obviously, so maybe I will bring it up. Um, just, that is down here at the bottom. I think this one.
So I'm just worried about the assignment 3.1, project one, part one, electrical layout.
Right,
Um,
right. This is a big chunk. Okay, so let me just share my screen. We want to get to week 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Gonna share my screen. Go and share.
in my assignment, the one I turned in this past weekend, I I binded all the PDFs together and rotated them because they were like lopsided.
Oh, good, good. That just makes it so much easier.
So let me.
Okay, so let's take a look at 3.1 is an electrical layout. Okay, so we're gonna need to look at the floor plan. I think there is a video somewhere in this about electrical plans lecture questions. Let's take a look at that. Nope. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Um, maybe it's in my go do a drive and we'll change it to 4500. 345. Um, okay, this is week 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Mm,
Okay, so I have some videos which I should post today about how to calculate the electrical demand, how a little introduction to the electrical plan. Um, there's a student session on that, on electrical demand, the mechanical demand, and so there will be some videos you can look at as well, but let's just kind of go over um, for electrical demand, you need to get where is it?
I didn't find those documents. Is there under specifications or something?
What documents?
The electrical plan?
No, you have to build an electrical plan.
Oh, I do. Oh,
Yes. You'll be building an electrical plan, you'll be doing plumbing detail on the uh toilet room and the HVAC drawings.
okay.
Okay, so we are looking at NAU. Come on, NAU 4500 is there. This is week where is the, should be something like project resources, is where I put it. Okay. So here are our drawings, and
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So if we take a look at this building, what you would do is you kind of walk through the building asking yourself about all the different kinds of things for electrical that you might need. Now, when you walk up to this building, you're probably going to need some sconces or some kind of lights here to light this front, right?
Yep.
So you might walk through the whole building looking at all the different kinds of lighting. You will probably have a ceiling grid here. Generally for your rule of thumb for a ceiling grid is every other tile in one direction and every 3 tiles in the other direction for 2 by 2 tiles. Make
Okay.
sense? So if this little spot here is 30 feet, you're going to have 15 tiles here, right? So if you
Is
go
it
every other, you're going to need 7 lights in here. Okay.
is there gonna be like a drop ceiling?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
So, walk around. Now, when you come in the door here, you're going to want to turn the light on, right?
Yeah.
So you'll need
Yeah.
a switch here. If you're coming up this hallway because you've come in this back way, you're also going to need a light switch here, right? And a switch here. Since you have 3 switches, you're going to need a 4-pole switch. So you'll put an S for the switch symbol and a 4. Every time you put something on this plan, you're going to want to put that in a schedule, probably here. Okay, so
Okay.
you'll put the little S symbol here and you're going to call it switch with pole. You're going to put the symbol for your sconces. You're going to put your symbol for your overhead, probably an LED light because there's a lot less demand for LED, right? So
That there's a
anytime
lot.
you add something here, you want to make sure it gets on that schedule. You may want
Sure.
to separate your lighting plan from your electrical plan. Okay, just because it gets really crowded. Next thing you want to look at is security. When you walk through this door, right, you're probably going to have, it'll be like a little square with a K in it for a keypad. And you would label that security keypad connect to remote monitoring, right? You're going to get a remote monitoring system to do your security, correct? So think about where else in the building you would want to have a keypad as people came into the building. While we're talking about security, when people leave the building, you need to have exit signs at every exit path and when it turns. So for example, you need an exit sign here by this door. But when you go through that door, you need another sign indicating that you're taking a left here to go out the
Yeah.
main door, right? Make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Um, you're probably going to want like building washers on the corners that are probably photo, uh, photovoltaic so that if it gets dark, the lights come on, right?
What did he say? Building washers?
Yeah, it's just like a little spot on the corners that's going to wash the front or the side of the building with light so that it discourages people breaking in because the lights are on.
Is that on the outside?
That's on the outside. That's as
Okay.
far as you need to go with your electrical plan. Don't worry about parking lot lighting. Don't worry about lighting the corral or the driveway or anything else.
Do we need to show the running of the wires like with the little arches and to the electrical box?
No, but you do need to show where they're connected, the lights are connected to the switches. So we know which switch goes to which light.
Okay, okay, yeah,
So don't forget, you've got all this special retail space here. That will require specialized lighting. You always want to light products specifically and not with general light.
so you want us to use a blue beam or like AutoCAD?
You can use anything you want, but it needs to come into D2L as a like a PDF or a
Yeah,
PowerPoint,
sure,
right? Um, so I don't, if you've got whatever you've got access to that you know how to use, that is perfectly
sure.
acceptable. Okay. Um, electrical, exit, security, uh, oh, you're gonna need data here at your administrative, right? So you can run credit cards. You're gonna need let me pull up my grading. Uh, where is it? Um, no, it's not here. It is here. Oops, wrong one. This one. Okay. There. There. All right, for week 3. All right, so is it there? We've got lighting, switches. Oh, make sure all your exit signs have emergency lighting indicated, so you'll probably get like a little box that says exit, and you're gonna label it exit sign with egress lighting.
Sure.
Oh, smoke detectors. Yes, you're gonna need smoke detectors and fire
Oh,
alarms
yeah.
and that kind of stuff. So probably you're gonna have a CO and smoke detector. And again, that's gonna be remotely connected to your offsite surveillance. Don't forget to make sure you've got like an outlet behind a refrigerator or the x-ray machine, right? Are you gonna have security cameras? That makes sense, particularly if you've got this remote monitoring, but also you might have cameras in with the animals so that you could remotely monitor their health, right? Instead of having a vet that has to stay overnight, you can just remotely monitor that. Um, in the clinic area and on the outside, any out receptacles, any duplexes have to be notated WP for weatherproof. You're going to need telephone lines and data lines, particularly at like your administrative area. You want to make sure you've got
Say that last part again. Can you
you're
repeat that
going to
last
need
part?
um data wiring.
Oh, data, yes.
Yeah, a landline, but you're also gonna need your connection to compute your computer to the network and to probably a line out for your um financials, unless they do something like Square, which is possible. We did that, photocell, retail lighting, switching
Uh,
with the correct poles. Oh, And of course, anything within 6 feet of water needs to
Oh
be
yeah.
a
Or if I
GFI or a
you're
GFCI. Don't
uh,
forget that if you put an outlet at like blank, it's generally at 18 inches, 12 or 18 inches as a default. So if you're
height.
putting outlets at countertops, like you probably need a whole lot of outlets at that lab and in that counter in the clinic, you want to give it a mounting height of like 42 inches off the floor. Otherwise, your electrician may mount all your outlets behind the cabinets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Seen that. Let's go back to that plan. All right. So, walk through and just think about, we've got a washer and a dryer here. If that's an electrical dryer, that's going to need a different kind of outlet. That's going to need a 240, right? If it's gas, then you're going to have to bring gas into the building, which might not be a bad thing since you've got your biofuel generator, but I'm suspecting that electrical is just going to be easier to build and cheaper to build.
Repeat that last part.
Okay, so you've got a dryer. Dryers are either electrical or gas, right?
Yes. Yes.
I suppose it's technically possible that you could hook the biofuel generator, the gas supply up to the dryer. But
Yeah.
by and large, I'm thinking you're just going to let the biofuel generator generate electricity and use a
Yes.
240 outlet for that dryer and make it electrical.
Yes. Okay, I get it. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So that's that first part.
Oh, yeah.
So the second part, where is that?
The demand, electrical demand. Is that
Yes.
what you mean?
Yeah.
Or are we still
Okay. I
on
got another,
3.1?
yeah, I got another piece I want to open up. That will be probably in here.
Did you freeze?
Nope. I don't think so. You good? You still there?
Hello?
Hello, are you back?
Yes. Are we still recording?
Yeah, nothing happened to me.
Okay, well, I
Good.
guess my phone call dropped from you.
Maybe. Okay,
Okay. All right.
so this is a residential demand, okay?
But she,
You would have
yeah,
to modify this. Lighting
yeah,
circuits, okay? 3 watts per square foot if it's like regular like fluorescence. You would need to find if you're going to use LED, how many watts per square foot, the total square footage of the building times those watts gives you the watts required for lighting.
yeah.
Convenience outlets, um, I would break down to say, I'm looking at the way to phrase this. So generally you don't want one circuit breaker to do the whole room. You want to split them between rooms so that if a circuit breaker pops, you still have power in that room. So you would do like one circuit would cover
Half.
half of each of the offices. And then
Should
that office
should
would
I
also, are you
should I
there?
also should I make the breakers and the wire rated for 20 amps instead of 15?
Oh, yeah,
Or what do you think?
definitely. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're gonna create several different areas. One is going to be office, the other is going to be office lab, lab admin. You're going to kind of break them up between.
Yeah.
And so each circuit, each room technically kind of gets two circuits, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um, your your 20 amps circuit times the number of circuits gives you your total watts. Then
Yeah.
you have to go through, remember week one, you had to do a list of all of the office equipment? I think it was
Okay.
week one.
I don't remember that.
Uh, maybe you missed that. Anyway, you're gonna
Okay.
need a list for like your central AC. I don't think we have a microwave oven. Maybe we do. Um, but you're gonna need like for the laboratory equipment, for like the X-ray equipment, for the electric dryer, if there is one, for the washing machine,
Sure.
for refrigerators, for copiers, for desktop computers, and you make a list of all that. Don't forget like your water heater and your forced air unit. You find out the wattage rating for each of those, add them up, you get your total watts, divide that by 240, which is your service. That gives you the total amps. Figure out how many panels you'll need. You might want to split panels between, say, the clinic area and the admin area, and
Okay.
pull up with two panels.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
All right.
if I haven't posted this already, I will.
Okay.
I just have to get down there. Um, so that's how you run that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Next thing is 3-1. We did 3-2. So lighting breakdown. Oh yeah. If you cannot find feed delivery vehicles, it's a
Okay.
golf cart. Okay. You don't need to worry about that. Okay. For um the plumbing drawings, basically you are going to bring in your water line from the street.
Yeah.
Cold water comes into the building. How familiar are you with plumbing drawings?
I am. I'm pretty good at the MEP. It's just I was more of a. I didn't. I wasn't a designer. I was more of a liaison between the contractors and the engineering team. So I
Okay.
kind of know it, but I'm not too fluent.
Okay, so we just need um, a blue line coming in. You need an empty circle showing that it's going. Is it empty? I'm always forgetting. Is it empty or filled to go up? I think it's empty. Anyway, the circle to show that you're going up to the second floor to the hot water heater. Bring the hot red line down.
Yeah.
The hot goes to your washing machine. Well, no,
Or
you're not doing that room. You're just doing the toilet room. So you bring it in, you send it up, you bring it down, hot water to the sink, cold water to the toilet in the sink,
all right.
and then take your sanitary line out. Keep it at least,
Oh,
6 feet from your supply as it heads out. And you're going to say to uh, sanitary sewer in the street.
so the sewer and the water have to be 6 feet apart
Uh,
minimum.
yeah, when they're coming yeah, in the site.
Yeah.
Here's another idea. Why don't we run that sanitary sewer line to the biofuel generator?
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought the biofuel generator was only for the well, I
Manure?
don't know. Yeah, manure from the animals.
It is, but I'm not seeing why we can't use people manure as well.
Okay, I'll do that.
And there's that whole thing about them wanting to be sort of self-sustaining. I still think you
Okay,
ought to
okay.
have the backup. Like, I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm not sure that they can have a well on a site that small. You're just too close to too much um manure runoff.
Yeah.
So they're kind of gonna have to. So you're gonna
Okay.
have your plumbing drawings. The fixtures are oh, they've changed this. Oh, restroom, the clinic, the dark room, and laundry. Valves, T's, and elbows. So you're gonna draw straight lines with, 45-degree bends for your sanitary and 90-degree bends for your supply.
Well, yeah.
Um, Show me a line leaving the building for hose bibs in the field. Call them freeze proof. Where
Freeze
are you
proof.
at?
I'm on 3.2, 3.3.
Yeah, no, where in the country? You're Texas?
Dallas,
Dallas.
Texas. Yeah.
How much freezing do you get?
Freezing, not that often, but it's not that often. It's not like permafrost. It doesn't go deep.
Yeah, okay, still you'd want freeze proof hose bibs, I think.
Okay.
So we talked about the supply, water supply for the features. You got the municipal supply, the rainwater catch and the brown water. We're just gonna say that brown water goes to the biofuel generator. And rainwater catch, just you can put rain barrels at your downspouts. You're really only going to use that for watering plants and stuff. You don't want to give that to animals.
Okay.
Radiant, the mechanical radiant system, most systems that I've seen, you cannot have a run longer than 100 feet. And the radiant
It,
coils are like 3 foot apart.
uh, I, I don't understand that part. Is that the heater?
That's the under slab
Oh, okay.
heat.
Yeah, to keep it from freezing in the livestock area. Or
Right. And
okay.
it's better for the horse's legs when you got those delicate horses. They have something not concrete's really hard on them, but the
Uh-huh.
cold in concrete is even worse.
Okay. And you said was the maximum run, or what were we saying? Maximum something.
The ones I've seen that are hydronic, they can't hold the heat for more than I think it's 100 feet. So you're going to need multiple lines running. Like you're going to need a line that runs all the way to the end, two to the end, and splits off right and left and
Yeah.
comes back. And then you have another one that comes and so each of them is less than 100 feet.
I was gonna mention too, in the drawing supplied, in the drawings that we were given, it didn't have a second floor layout.
No, it doesn't. Assume it's
Okay.
just a concrete on metal deck, empty space up there. That's
Okay.
where you're going to put your batteries for your battery, for your solar and your electrical generation from the biofuel and your wind turbine, your hot water heater, any of the HVAC equipment goes up there, stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Pretty good.
I was going to show you something else. What was it? I think it was. Do I have it here? No. Huh. Where is it? Well, maybe it is here. 3. Huh. Nope. Okay. Thought I had a sketch of how that radiant thing works, but I don't. Okay. Uh, what's next? Supply and return exchanger.
Oh, for their
That's
conditioning.
just typical HVAC stuff. You've got a trombe wall on the I think that's the south side of the building, which is up, which feels really weird to me. I can't get used to that. Um, you can use that also for passive cooling. You put some ducts underneath the slab and you run air through that to kind of heat it in the summer but cool it in the winter. And you also can put vents in your roof to cross ventilate. And you can have e-vents as well.
Okay.
Okay. Um, you need to actually get, is it a Carrier or who? The
Oh, the
cut
brand.
sheet on
Oh,
it.
the what?
The cut sheet on the HVAC system you use.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then your thoughts on how you organized um like the H the radiant system, right? Because
Okay.
runs are limited to 100 feet, I
Okay.
ran feeder lines up the center and branched off to either side, or I ran
Okay.
feeder lines up the outside of the building so that the center was heated, but the outside is always got the hottest stuff going by it, whatever. Just your logic to why you laid it out the way you did.
Okay.
Okay, so the other thing, the demand calculations, you need the volume of the space. You need to know the air changes required. So let's say you get a 10 by 10 by 10 room, which would be 1,000 cubic feet, right? If you need 2 air changes per hour, you need to run 2,000 cubic feet per hour. But the registers, the size of the register is based per cubic feet per minute. So you need to divide that by 60 to get
Yeah.
the size of that chunk.
I've never done that part, but
Okay,
I understand you're trying to cycle the air out with new air, or you're trying to move the air.
right. You need for your admin, I believe you need 2 changes per hour. But for the clinic, you're gonna need I think it's 3. I know you end up with like 10 like 3 by 3
Oh,
supply in the clinic, somewhere around there, 5 on each side. And then you need like half that, 5 returns, something like that.
no problem. Hope we're
Okay.
recording because I'm gonna have to go back on all this.
And will post, there's a video that kind of goes through it step by step,
Good.
which I will post today, if we get far enough along here. Okay, okay. So that was 3, correct? Yes, that's all three of
Yes.
them. Let's go back and look at this. So mechanical demand, there's that. I can, oh, wait a minute, is that it? Yeah,
I see.
so that's kind of how that looks. You're gonna end up with something that looks something like that. I've got all my supplies coming here, and then I've got 100 feet, and it's return. And this supply here, and those will all go straight up to um, the second floor there.
Okay. I've
Okay.
never seen those mechanical radiant systems before. I've heard of them, but I've never seen them like in a project.
Um, yeah,
But I'll look it
they're a
up.
pain. Yeah, no, they're better in something like concrete that you pour. They
Yeah.
are bare in like a wood, something with a wood overlayment, because someone always drives a nail through the tubing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
I mean, I would assume also that wood is more of an insulator, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're
Okay.
nice. If I've never actually been in a house that had it, but my understanding is that it's really nice. Keeps the floors
Yeah.
toasty and yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
okay, so I can send you these. Let's see,
Oh, really? Excuse me. Excuse me.
copy, and we will go to the chat. Where's the chat? And there's the electrical grading that I use. And here is for the demand. And I think you can paste this. Oh, that one is too big. It's not happy. Well, we'll see if it goes through. No, it won't. I'll have to do that in 2 parts. Um, okay. Is that one? This one? These three are all part of that demand, but it just has more pieces than will fit in the chat. Are you able to access those?
Yeah, I mean, I can see them popping up as long as they're on in the video. I can note them.
I know that you
And
can also cut and paste them to a document if you want to do
okay.
that.
Yeah,
And
I'll do that.
here is the
Are you gonna
mechanic.
Are you gonna post this video soon once we get off?
Uh, it takes it takes 4 or 5 hours usually for
Oh,
it
that's
to
fine.
come through.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the other stuff, and then I'll come back to this part when
Yeah.
I get to it.
Anything else you want to ask?
Oh, something about last week's assignment. Uh, Real quick.
Last week.
Uh, let's see which one it
Two.
was.
All
Oh,
right. Close
oh,
that.
the rigid. Oh, okay. The rigid facility. The rigid frame building.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. I'm just reading it. The most basic review would start with square feet calculation, which I did, followed by preliminary square foot cost estimate. That's what I wasn't able to do. Um, because
Just look
I
up
got
yeah, look up a square foot cost for like a Butler building. I mean,
a
or
Butler
some
building.
other uh
Okay,
pre-engineered building.
all right, because I was able to get the volume, but I wasn't able to produce a number.
Yeah, you need
But,
that volume for the clinic
uh-huh.
for your HVAC for this week. So that's good that you've got that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and then the discussion
Do
of
I um um the second floor? Uh, you said it was gonna be like for uh batteries and what else?
HVAC, hot water
Is
heater, maybe maybe you've got a server
so
up there, all that kind of
w-
stuff.
will I need to have it, you know, air conditioned up there?
No.
No? Okay, so I'm gonna subtract that from my quantities, my volume.
Yeah. Don't worry, you don't have a plan for that. Don't light it, don't power it. Just we're gonna assume that
Just a mechanical room or something like that.
that you're gonna get an extra for that. You're gonna put in
Okay.
for an extra when you mention that you don't have those.
Okay. I think, and that was my only question. Um, and then you answered this week's assignment, and I'm gonna go ahead and start on that.
This one's a big one. Um,
Yeah.
Next week we're doing the specs. And what I will do is I will provide you with an Excel spreadsheet with all the list of all 54 divisions, and you will
Uh-huh.
check off which specs apply. And then I've got a way to grade that goes faster than me trying to do, I think it's 26 pages of specs that I would need to go through. So it's faster for you and it's faster for me. I cannot require you to use it, but it will be faster for you than trying to do it from like a Word spreadsheet or something like that. Okay?
Okay. Um, and on the reading assignment for this week, you have one of them says review lead WUR,
The
water use recovery. Is that like gray water recovery or like from rainwater? I haven't read it, so I really don't know that much. But,
Well, let's take a look. Okay, this is good information to have, but I do not see how it applies specifically to any of the assignments this week.
okay. And I think I'm pretty good. I have a good start for my assignments.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Anytime.
How are you? How are you doing?
I just as a heads up, uh, next week, my time is kind of tight. So if
Hmm.
we can meet on Monday, great. But like
Yeah,
I got lots of things that I'm trying to sort of domino.
yeah,
So I need a lot of heads up before I switch things around. Okay?
yeah. The only thing is that I think I told you that my company got bought out and they're preparing the building, so
Oh,
I have no access to a computer till I get to off of work, which is around 3, like today. And then
okay.
but then the following weeks I have access to a computer again, at any time. So
Okay. Um, excuse me. Let's take a quick look at next week if you've got time.
sure,
And maybe we can cut out next week's meeting.
let me tell you what.
Um, Okay, so
specifications.
using the master format. Okay, so let me open up that piece. Where's week 4? Week.
Scope of work, is that what you're looking at? Yeah.
Yeah, let me find. Where is the checklist? There's the solution. Okay. So this is what you will get. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And I believe I have gone through and hit with yellow. You're doing by tens. Okay. So you've got 0. Does 0, which is procurement and contracts, apply? You're going to say yes or no, right? And then you're gonna, if it's no, obviously nothing will apply, but if it's yes, instructions for procurement, are you going to need that? Yes. Do you need solicitation? No, because you've already got the job, right? And you're just gonna go down and check off each of these, whether they apply or not, for each of all 54 tabs here, okay?
Yeah.
Save it, turn it in, and that's how that will be most efficiently done. Do you, what, if you go to RCAT or Suites, are you familiar with them?
No, I've never used those. RCAT, can you spell
Um,
that?
ARCAT. Let me look it up.
Okay.
Um,
I
okay, so you can look through CAD drawings, BIM objects, specifications, and uh, it'll write specs for you. So what this is this is a list of building products. So let's look up like drywall.
You broke up there for a second. I
Okay.
can't hear you.
Uh, am I back? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello? Are you there?
Hello?
Hello, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay.
Are we still recording?
We are, yeah, it looks
Okay,
like
okay,
we're
you
still
wanted to make sure.
recording.
So, so this is like an assistant for making your construction documents.
It will do that as well, but mostly what it is it's a location that will allow you to research products. So,
Okay, okay.
um, so if I look up drywall, like here are all different manufacturers, certainty and all the manufacturers for drywall and their products, and you can get the manufacturer specs off here, or you can build your own. But this is where you can find lots of information about particular products if you need it. Okay.
When yeah,
And it's,
when I was working on my MEP company, they had their own,
mm-hmm.
but this more looks more wide uh wider range of industries.
Yeah, I mean, they have everything. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, they have, I mean, there's all the divisions that they cover.
and, and construction documents supersede the drawings, correct? Right. Can you hear me?
Specifications generally
Hello? So you were
overrule
breaking
the
up. Right? or I can.
Yeah, generally written overrules drawn for the most part. But if you see a conflict, you're definitely just pump in an RFI. Have I lost you again?
Hello?
Hello? Are you back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I think your phone is having a little trouble because you drop out and then I see you reload.
Okay.
Okay, anything else we need to cover?
No, I think that's it. I think I'm on a good path.
Okay, okay.
How are you doing health wise?
Um, I think they have hired a new instructor, and so that is going to help tremendously. I think I can cut my class load down to something a little closer to what I can do as well as I would like to do. How about you?
Okay, so I'll go and let you go now.
Okay.
Okay,
All
you
right.
have a good. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
Well,
hey, don't forget to post this video so I can review it again.
yep, I
Thank
will.
you.
I'm
Bye
gonna
bye.
stop it right now.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.